We spoke last week, I believe, or 2 weeks ago perhaps, about a very, very wicked woman. And as I said, anybody who went to kindergarten, Gan, there's more Rifki, there's more Rachel, there's more Leah, there's more Sarah. But the most popular Moira is Mora Heter. Yeah? Mora Heter means literally teaching us to do leniencies, right? Unwarranted leniencies. And as Rashi said in last week's portion, in Parshrei, that about dam, right? If you don't eat dam, which nobody wants to eat dam, it's disgusting, makes you vomit, right? So certainly, if we parish from Gezel and Arias, which there's a big Yetzirah for Gezel and Arias, so we'll get a lot of reward. So I want to share with you an incident that happened to me this Friday Shabbos. Right? I went to the mikvah on Friday, and I usually don't have a towel. I've lost so many towels that my wife has begged me not to take towels to the mikvah. But I went to a certain mikvah which had towels. You could rent them. So I rented a towel. I decided to splurge. I rented a towel for 3 shekels, a little less than $1. And after I used it, I said, you know what? I'm going to come back here on Shabbos. I'll just hang up the towel, and then I can use it again. It sounded perfectly logical and sensible to me. Shabbos morning, I was walking to the mikvah, and I just learned that Rashi in Chumash. I just sat down in Chumash and learned the Rashi, and then suddenly it struck me. I was once again accosted, right? Literally accosted by Mora Heter. Right? Why? Because I thought, right, they rent the towels per usage. It says explicitly there, you're not supposed to use towels. Well, that means even if you yourself use it, it doesn't mean if someone else used it. I mean, that's like really almost disgusting. But even if you use it, you're not supposed to hang them up and use them a second time, because that's your whole business, is using it once and then renting another towel, want it again. You can't pay on Shabbos, so pay Motzi Shabbos or Ev Shabbos some other time. Right? And once again, Mora Heter had cunningly worked her way into my life and persuaded me to do something which was for sure Gezel. As I was going to the mikvah, I was looking for a Talmid Chacham maybe to speak to, but it was so pasha to me, like I didn't even have to ask a shaila. When I got there, I met a certain Talmid Chacham, and he said, like, what's the question? Of course, that's Gezel, that's stealing, right? But Mora Heter, she always uses like very, very clever ways, and even if it's only $1, like $1, the Chavetz Chaim said, anybody who steals in this world, right, who owes money in this world, doesn't pay it off, he has to come back to this world as a horse. Right? It's a famous story with the mayor of Prushland, that he once went to someone's house, and he said, show me, this guy had a lot of horses, he said, show me the shtaros of your horse. So he showed him one of the document for his best horse, and he ripped it up, and the horse died. So the guy asked him, like, what's going on here? What do you do? He said, this horse was the neshama of somebody who wasn't careful enough in Gezel in this world. He came back as a horse, right? And he owed money, right? He owed money for, it was a loan, it wasn't a starved horse. It was a loan. He said when you ripped up the loan, you had to pay back the loan to you by being a horse. When you ripped up the loan, so then that was considered payment of this, and he could go back into the next world, and he didn't have to be a horse anymore. The moral of this story is that when it comes to money, we have to be really, really careful, even if it's a very small amount, like $1, because Mora Heter loves small amounts. Mora Heter, she will never teach us, or she generally will not teach us to steal large amounts of money, right? In $1,000, $10,000, $100,000. Mora Heter generally doesn't deal with those large schumim, those large amounts, because it's too hard to figure out a way to steal them, which seems like it's mutter. Mora Heter's trick is she always tries to get you to steal in a way that seems like it's permitted, right? Seems like it's permitted, like this case with the towel. What's the problem? I paid for the towel, I use the towel, I'll use it again, right? No problem at all. But when you think for a drop and you go a little bit deeper and you understand, it's just Mora Heter. If you're just trying to, what's the right word, recreate the situation, to reframe the situation, so it looks like when it's mutter, but it's really aser. So Kodesh Baruch Hu in his infinite rachamim should help us to think. He should help us avoid this wicked woman, Mora Heter, right, at all costs. And as Rav Sheinberg told me once, the way to fight Mora Heter is just 1 second. Just think for 1 second, and she's gone. She'll disappear. She's off the planet Earth, right? Because all you need to do is think, right? Mar Heter is very powerful if your brain is turned off. But when your brain is turned on and you just think for 1 second, then you are protected from Mar Heter. Hashem should help us protect us from Mar Heter. And all wicked women, I don't mean females, I mean things like Taiva, Chemda. These, as the Gra says, the Taiva and Chemda are called Ish Zara and Ish Nachriya. To look in the Gra in Mishlei, protect us from these wicked women, and be very, very careful when it comes to areas, as Rashi says, like Gezel V'Arayas. These areas are very, very sensitive, and we have to be very, very careful to avoid them at all costs of entry.